It is time for the Nebraska Dairy Update. I'm Chad Moyer. On today's program, we welcome to the program from Midwest Dairy, Jay Edenborg. He is Vice President of Corporate Communications for Midwest Dairy. Jay, thanks for visiting with us here today. The topic of today's conversation may be a little bit different than we usually have on Dairy Update, and especially hearing from the Checkoff organization, but just some thoughts about preparing for a crisis on the farm. And again, maybe an atypical topic, but there are a lot of good reasons, Jay, that a dairy producer should maybe think through what a crisis looks like and why prepare for a crisis on the farm, right?
Yeah, correct. And thanks for having me, Chad. As we all know, farms are complicated places, right? And farms face many risks from things like fires or outages, unpredictable animal behavior or weather, or even like activist threats and activities. And how a farm and a farmer prepares can make all the difference when these tough times occur. When you're in a crisis situation, emotions can run high. These are unusual events, but planning and practice can really help you stay focused and with the ultimate goal of recovering faster, right? The first step to that for us is having a crisis plan, a written, formal, official crisis plan that farmers and staff can go to when a problem comes up. But once you have that plan, the next most important step is practice. Just like sort of anything else in life, practice is beneficial. And the one thing I can tell you is that drills and having drills matter. Think about your old fire drill you might have when you were at school or something like that. And we really encourage farmers to prepare and conduct drills for potential scenarios, again, like weather events or fires or activist activities or anything like that. Each time you have a drill, you build confidence, your staff build confidence, and you reveal gaps in your planning. Where have we maybe missed something? Where could we spend a little more time developing our plan? That type of preparation doesn't have to be big or expensive or take a long time. Even 30 minutes around a table can pay off once you sit down and start thinking about all those different scenarios that might happen and how you would handle those on your farm. The key there is really consistency, follow through, and practice.
All right. Now, we usually, when it, connected to a checkoff organization, we usually talk about research, education, and promotion. But in this space of crisis preparation, what is the checkoff's commitment to something like that?
Yeah, great question. So helping farmers prepare for situations like this is an important part of our mission. Maybe it's not a primary part of our mission, but it is still an important part of our mission. And Midwest Dairy has spent a lot of time helping develop resources that farmers can use to prepare. So one way we've done that is Midwest Dairy has compiled a variety of resources that are on our website to help farmers and their farm staff prepare. That includes things like we have a printable, fillable crisis workbook that farms can use to start developing that plan. We have some virtual training sessions that we've held that are recorded and saved on our website. We have additional public relations training resources that can help prepare. I really encourage farmers to go visit midwestdairy.com, our website, and find some of these resources and more. And within these resources, they will find that step one, again, of building that plan. We have lots of resources and, again, fillable forms, fillable plans that farmers could use. A good plan includes things like a contact list, who to contact in various situations. It builds out roles and responsibilities for farmers and farm staff, who's going to do what in a situation or a crisis. It helps create communication plans. And really outline steps that protect employees and the public. So you'll find all of that on our website. But again, that plan can't just sit on a shelf, right? True readiness means that the farmer and the farm teams know what to do when a crisis strikes, and that plan is only as strong as the people that are expected to follow it. So if they haven't practiced, it really is not going to work under pressure. So again, we encourage, along with developing that plan, to really have drills and practice sessions to bridge that gap, letting employees engage with the plan, ask questions, build that muscle memory that develops when you practice, so everybody's ready for a real emergency and a real situation.
Yeah, it's probably one of those situations, Jay, where you want to have it, but you hope you never have to use it in an emergency. But still, you got to have it in your back pocket. And here's an opportunity really to really kind of spur that along to help producers get going on that. Tell me a little bit more about this opportunity upcoming, Jay.
Yeah, so we're really excited this fall. We have 2 webinars planned for farmers. The first one is about owning your digital footprint, owning your digital space, things like websites and social media. And that is that is important for connecting with consumers on the business side, on the marketing side, owning your digital space. But that also can play a really important role in a crisis or an issue kind of situation, right? That digital space, like your social media or your website, can be a great way to communicate with the public if there was a situation. So that's our first webinar that's happening later here in October. And then in early November, we're having a second session that I'm actually leading that I'm really excited about, that's designed to help farmers practice their crisis plans. So that this session is dedicated to helping farmers run effective crisis drills and run effective practice sessions. And I'm really excited about that this will also include some mock crisis scenarios that farmers can just take from our website, take from this webinar directly, bring it back to their farm and try it out to strengthen their own plans. So we'll have some ready-made sort of crisis scenarios in a box, if you will, where farmers can take that back to their farm and bring it to their staff and say, let's talk about this issue, let's talk about what we would do in that issue, and let's do some drills. So I'd really encourage farmers to watch Midwest Dairy Communications for details. Pay attention to our social media or emails you might get from us, or talk to your farmer relations manager to reserve your spot in these. But also you can go directly to our website. And that is, we have a special website just to register for these webinars coming up. That is midwestdairy.com/farmer webinar. So midwestdairy.com/farmer webinar, all one word in the farmer webinar. And you can go there and sign up directly for either or both of these 2 important webinars coming up this fall.
All right, very good. Jay, I appreciate the shining a spotlight on the issue. Again, crisis preparation and management, again, pretty important part of the operation these days. Again, Jay Edenborg is Vice President of Corporate Communications with Midwest Dairy. On today's Nebraska Dairy Update, Chad Moyer reporting.